Hi, this is Molly here. So, just a quick update on my day today. I did some riding all morning and then I went to Kumpulan Maawimala, which is the public swimming pool in the neighborhood where I live in Kumpula. And I love Kumpulan Maawimala. It's one of my absolute favorite places in the world. And that's because it's really close by. It's so easy to go in for a swim. But my favorite thing about it is it has a really nice public sauna. So the water is pretty warm in the pool, but even if it's not warm out like today, you can go into the sauna afterward. And I love this sauna because since it's at a public pool, you have, the women's changing room with the women's sauna and the men's changing room with the men's sauna. And because it's at the public pool, you just get people of all age ranges coming into the sauna, and I just love sitting there. And you have these older women who come in who oftentimes throw a lot of water on the sauna stove or the sauna oven. And then sometimes you also get, like friends who are 9 years old who are sitting there and giggling, or a mom and her little toddler, and there's something about it. I just love it. Anyway, so I went to Kumpulan Mawimala and I did a little swim, little sauna, and then we went to an open air dance party this evening called Voom at Annivale, which is this club that in the summer has a really nice kind of patio, and there was a DJ coming in and visiting, and it was just like, we were dancing like maniacs. It was very fun. But now on to today's topics, which is bad habits. I have some. So first of all, I would say as a person, I'm like kind of weird. Like I have these like kind of tics and oddities and stuff like that. So I want to just talk about some of my bad habits to see if I really am just a weirdo, or to maybe hear if everybody does this kind of thing, like if everyone's kind of as crazy as I am. And there was something about, I always feel really kind of ashamed and guilty about my bad habits because they feel kind of compulsive. And there's something about sharing them which just, I hope will feel good. So I'm going to go through a couple of my worst ones. There's one that I do all the time, and if you know me and talk to me, you have probably seen me do it, which is chew on the inside of my mouth with my teeth. So I literally sit there like this, and I chew on the inside of my mouth. And again, it's definitely compulsive. I know it looks pretty weird, probably. It's probably not good for my skin that I'm always like touching it with my fingers and stuff. And like the dentist has told me, definitely don't do this. I doubt it's good for the inside of my cheeks. And I tried for a while, but the dentist suggested that I chew gum. So, my teeth are occupied and not chewing on my mouth. But that just meant I literally was chewing gum like all the time. Like I would go through a pack of gum in a day. And again, I was like, Molly, who are you? Like a barbarian who eats a pack of gum in a day? But I do. So I have no idea what that is about. And I've been trying maybe to use some kind of more meditation exercises to get rid of it. So just observe my urge to chew on my mouth, or notice the activities that I do when I don't chew on my mouth and I'm not even thinking about it at all, and try to figure out like, what is it about these kind of activities? What are the scenarios which I do chew on it? So that's one of them. Another bad habit that I developed probably in middle school is I twirl my hair, but I twirl it in such a way that it literally forms like knots, like huge tangles. So I'll give you an example. So first I'm just going to put my hair up. Here, I'll put it up all the way. And so when my hair is up in a ponytail, and especially when I'm maybe kind of stressed or preoccupied thinking about something or getting in that kind of brain state, I will twirl my hair around like this. Like I'll sit there if you've seen me, for example, like writing a paper, you'll see me with my hand in my hair all the time. What I do is I take a piece, I twirl it around my finger, and then the strand of hair that is like on top of my thumb, for example, here you can't really see, it will make this nice flat surface, and I run all my fingers over it because that strand of hair becomes super smooth when you kind of like flatten it on your finger, and I just sit there feeling it. And then what happens is after I've felt that piece for a while, I tuck the twirl under and then I feel it again and then I start it again. And literally this makes like bird nest knots in my hair. And it got so bad at one point when I was in middle school that my mom like wouldn't let me wear ponytails anymore. And that made it a little bit better, but I still do it. And it's called my bird's nest because it looks like there's a bird's nest in my hair. So those are two bad habits that I've had for a while. And then this last one, this is one that I feel like is maybe a little bit interesting as more of a cultural thing potentially, as much as I do it. I literally do this all the time, but sometimes I feel like I shouldn't, which is kind of comparing cultures. So for example, when I'm an American living in Finland, it's very easy to get caught up in the, well, here things are like this, and there things are like this. But of course we all observe it and we notice it. So this is something that I'm wondering if it's a cultural thing, because I think it's a little different here in Finland. And that is that sometimes I am just so darn flaky. I will tell people that I'm going to do something and then I won't do it. And there's literally no logical explanation for why I didn't do it. It's not hard, it's not time consuming, it's not something I don't want to do. And this is oftentimes with like social obligations, I guess, but I just don't follow through. So I have an example, something that made me think of this. When I was in the States recently, I met up with someone who I hadn't seen in years, and he is now a yoga instructor, and I went to one of his yoga classes and we caught up and had just a really nice time. And afterward, I was going to invite him to come take a class at the studio that I had normally been going to because I had some free passes, and I told him, I'll message you with the classes that I like to go to and you're free to come anytime. I never messaged him with the classes. Why? I have no idea. I genuinely wanted him to come. I love my studio. I wanted to introduce him to it. It wouldn't have been that hard. I would have just had to send a message. But I think there's almost something I've been trying to figure, because this is just an example, but I do this stuff all the time. First of all, I would say there's maybe more cultural acceptance. Like some people, that kind of thing would definitely upset them. There are definitely lots of Americans who would be like, that's pretty rude and flaky. But I would say there's also many who kind of do the same things, so you don't necessarily feel like it's so bad. But I think maybe more importantly, I was trying to think why I didn't do it. And I think there was a level of maybe kind of perfectionism involved, that if he came, I would really want it to have gone just exactly right. And so normally I'm just kind of running to yoga class, but I would have wanted to be kind of ready, like have my stuff in order, be able to hang out with him before or after the class. And I'm trying to think like, what day is that going to work? And then all this stuff starts building up, and it almost like there's this pressure attached to it. So maybe I'm totally just making excuses for myself, but I think that might be a part of it. Conversely, here in Finland, people here generally just, they follow through. Like if you say you're going to do something, you do it. And I'm talking specifically about social obligations, but I guess with other things as well, generally. So an example of Finnish follow through is, I have a friend here, and when I had come back, we were really excited making these plans. We were at a party, and there were different things we kept talking about of like, oh yeah, we really want to do this. Let's make sure we do this. And so I was kind of trying to like recap all the stuff we had said, and I was like, okay, we're doing these 3 things. We're going to Arla sauna, we're going to Urjankatu Uimahalli, so this wonderful swimming hall, and we're going to do acro yoga. I think those were the three things. And um, and I just kind of said it, but almost as a joke, kind of. When we're standing there, we pinky promised that we're going to do these things. But for me, it's kind of like an aspirational bucket list, even with the pinky promise, or definitely things I would like to do, but it's like no stress if we don't get to them. But she was going on a trip and she was sick and all this stuff, but she kept saying, well, maybe we can do this time, maybe we can do this that time. And I realized she was really trying hard to fit everything in that we had said. And I was like, it's okay if we can't like fit it in. It's not a problem. To me, these are all like special things. They're extra, they're fun. If we don't get to them, it's like everybody will be okay. But she was like, no, we pinky promised about it. And that's when I realized, like, first of all, wow, like, I just think it's really a nice quality and so admirable that you really try to follow through on things you say you're going to do. And I'm trying to work on being better about that. But also, I need to be careful about things that I say with friends that I want to do, because I better really be prepared to do them and take the time out and not just say things lightly like, oh, we should get coffee, for example. Here, that means you are going to be setting up a time to get coffee. So if you don't actually have time in your schedule to be getting a coffee, don't tell someone, oh yeah, we should get coffee. Anyway, so maybe I am just a total flake, which is a possibility, but I'm working on it. Or maybe this is a cultural difference. I'm not sure. I would look forward to any comments and ideas that you all might have.